Hello, this is Mazda. Welcome for a long break. I want you to watch this video to end. In all other videos, this time round, you're going to enjoy the lesson and you are going to also have fun with mathematics. You're going to master your class with maths. Now let's look at this master class. And this is an examinable question. This is how to solve the question. And this is a truncated cone and we call the frustum. Now we need to find the volume of this particular diagram. So the first thing that you should know is that you have to just complete the conical shape. So let's do that. So we have this form of the shape. Now can you see we have the cone as a complete form, but this part has been truncated away. So we need to know the height of the whole cone, and that we can subtract the volume of the smaller cone from the volume of the bigger cone. So in this case, let's make a line here to indicate the height of this smaller cone. And then we can calculate for the height of that smaller cone. You realize that from this point down here is also the height of the whole cone. Let's represent it with h. Now in this case, let's calculate for the height. For the height is supposed to be the height of its radius, which is 3, that is h over 3, is equal to the full height of the cone, which we know to be h, but it is the height of the smaller cone and the height of the bigger cone, putting them together to give you h plus 8 out of what is the radius of this smaller and the bigger cone, that is 5. So let's put 5 here. Now we can make h the subject by cross multiplication. So we have 5h is equal to, then 3 times the other side of 3 times h plus 8. Now let's expand. We have 5h is equal to 3h plus 8 times 3 will give you 24. So making h the subject, we have 5h minus 3h is equal to 24. So we have 2h is equal to 24, and then dividing both sides by 2, we have h to be 12. Now assuming that we are calculating in meters, so we have the height to be 12 meters. Now that we have this, we can now move on to the volume of the frustum. Now let's find the volume of a cone. Now the volume of a cone is given by the formula V is equal to 1 over 3 pi r squared h. So the volume of a cone is this. So we are supposed to calculate for the volume of the frustum. So we calculate the volume of the bigger cone and then calculate the volume of the smaller cone. Then we do the subtraction. So we have this side to be V is equal to the volume of a smaller cone, CS, 1 over 3 times 3.142 times the volume, the smaller cone, that is the radius, is to be 3 squared, and then the height is 12. So let's use our calculator. So we have 1 out of 3 times 3.142 times 3 squared times 12, and that is the volume of a smaller cone is 113.112 meter cube. We cannot calculate the volume of the bigger cone. So the volume of the bigger cone is 1 over 3 times 3.142 times the radius is 5 squared. and then the height. Now realize that the smaller height is 12, and then this side height is also 8. So 12 plus 8 will give us 20. So now let's calculate for the volume. You have 1 out of 3 times 3.142 times 5 squared times 20, and giving you 523.667. Now to get the volume of the frustum, that is the smaller, that side truncated, that's the volume of the bigger cone. So let's do that. The volume of the bigger cone minus the volume of the smaller cone. So we have the bigger cone is 523.667 minus 113.112. So let's do the subtraction. 523.667 minus 113.112, and we are getting 410.555 meter cube. So this is how to calculate that. Please subscribe, click on the notification for more works and questions. Have a nice day.